Whether we like it or not, experiencing conflicts from time to time is one of the many beauties of the human experience. And yet, although inevitable, the INFJ usually resorts to handling conflict resolution by avoiding it at all costs. Although seeming balanced on the outside, conflict affects the INFJ more deeply than they'd like to admit, acting as the root to their conflict-avoidant tendencies. So, why is it so crucial that they get over this fear of convention? Welcome or welcome back, psychos. Before we get into it, we'd love it if you liked and subscribed to our channel, as well as to click the post notification bell so you never miss a video. Alright, let's get right into it. Starting with Number 1. Consider times of conflict as an opportunity for growth. Self-improvement is the foundation to most of the INFJ's motivation in life. Self-critical at heart, this personality type is always looking for ways to better themselves mentally, spiritually, and physically. So, what better way to begin practicing their conflict-avoidant therapy than to label it as a route to self-betterment? Whether it's in the way the INFJ can't help but to tell people what they want to hear in order to keep the peace, or how they see certain disagreements as a failure of their idealistic concepts of harmonious relationships. Conflict avoidance is a deep subconscious habit that INFJs must learn to grow out of. In fact, the inability to speak your truth is a clear sign of immaturity and can become so noticeable that others may consider the INFJ as spineless and timid. Once the INFJ can see that conflict is a normal and healthy component of a proper communicative relationship, they'll begin to notice how useful being upfront can be. Number 2. Understand that facing conflicts head-on will preserve personal integrity. If there's one thing that the INFJ personality type can't avoid, it's their need to live within their personal ideals, morals, and values. They are happiest in life when they allow themselves to practice their personal standards and aren't persuaded away from these deeply held beliefs due to outside influence and pressure. True personal integrity requires one to align their personal behaviors and actions with their own values, principles, and ethics. So, while the INFJ's tactic of playing along and saying what others want to hear, despite having their own opinion on the matter, may temporarily preserve their peace, it takes a major toll on their highly valued personal integrity. As much as they value harmony, integrity is a crucial aspect of the INFJ's personality that inevitably only fuels this type's internal disharmony when not practiced properly. It's a sign of self-disrespect and really only damages the INFJ and their own acknowledged authenticity in the long run. Number 3. Speaking up actually benefits everyone involved. Not only does speaking up benefit the INFJ in tremendous ways, but it's not a stretch to say that the INFJ who speaks their mind, no matter the pots they may stir, actually help make the world a better place. Many great leaders and teachers were outside-of-the-box thinkers with visions, insights, and ideas that, if weren't spoken into existence, could have left humanity without some of the greatest inventions and discoveries. The INFJ's odd thinking patterns not only set them apart from the rest, but actually have the power to provide fellow thinkers with insights they would never have considered. One simple example would be the fact that about 73% of the world are sensors, meaning they focus more on the past, present, and what they can observe with their 5 senses. It's not in their cognitive makeup to even consider patterns, meanings, and future opportunities like the INFJ tends to resort to naturally. Most people don't realize just how beneficial it is to have an INFJ in their group. INFJs offer vital information and course-changing ideas that would be shameful to miss out on simply due to the fear of ruffling some feathers. Number 4. Confidence through conflict will grow like a muscle. Another major reason the INFJ prefers to keep quiet and remain agreeable is due to the simple fact that they simply don't have the confidence to believe their own opinion is worthy of expressing. Since the typical INFJ tends to view the world through a very different lens than most people, it makes sense as to why they would think their ideas or opinions may be invalid or taboo. Of course, as we discussed in our previous point, this simply isn't the case. And so, while it may be difficult to believe and practice at first, luckily, the more the INFJ shares their thoughts despite the possibility of conflict, the more they will come to see just how necessary sharing their view really is. Sure, at first, it'll feel completely unnatural and even cocky at times to share their opposing thoughts on certain matters, but as time goes on, their confidence will speak for itself, allowing others the willingness to listen to what they have to say and respecting the fact that they can speak their unique introspection despite the possibility of being shut down. Number 5. Handle conflict before emotions get bottled up. While avoiding speaking up in order to keep the peace seems like a logical tactic in some regards, it doesn't take a genius to understand that it's only a matter of time before it comes back to bite the INFJ in the butt. In fact, one detrimental factor that lies behind this seemingly foolproof tactic is that the INFJ's unexpressed and often internally ignored emotions will bottle up. Instead of expressing themselves in a healthy manner, INFJs will smile and nod until their buried emotions and opinions are bursting at the seams. If the conflict is serious enough, this is when this otherwise calm and collected personality type can't help but to tell it like it really is, in the worst way possible. Or, the other possible outcome is the INFJ resorting to avoiding that individual altogether. What once was but a small issue that could easily be discussed and sorted out becomes a major problem that causes the INFJ to lose control of how they resolve it. And so, when the INFJ practices speaking their mind within the first whisper of their logical brain, they're actually saving their future selves in a major way. Number 6. People-pleasing can make others view them as less authentic. Social chameleons and energy adapters, the extroverted feeler INFJ type is known for their easygoing and agreeable nature. They not only have the habit of siding with certain people due to their avoidance of argumentative discussions, but with their ability to see things from all angles, the INFJ can usually see where people are coming from with their viewpoints. They don't only agree for the sake of agreeing, but instead because they see the truth in even the most opposing stances. Because of this, some people may disrespect the INFJ's opinion altogether due to the fact that they're probably just going to tell them what they want to hear. This approach attracts those who rather have their egos stroked and their opinions validated, rather than the people who want genuine honesty. Not to mention, when people can't read between the lines of this agreeableness, it leaves them to make their own assumptions about where the INFJ really stands on certain matters. Although this personality type has the ability to be bluntly honest with the people they care about, when it comes to mediating acquaintances at work, school, or within hypothetical scenarios, the INFJ can be considered too agreeable. And lastly, number 7. Understand that avoiding conflict can take a physical toll. According to the book, The Body Keeps the Score. As long as you keep secrets and suppress information, you are fundamentally at war with yourself. The critical issue is allowing yourself to know what you know. That takes an enormous amount of courage. While conflict avoidance isn't exactly secret keeping, there's an underlying similarity of the INFJ preference of keeping their opinions to themselves that has the same physical effect. Inexpression not only causes this introverted intuitive a great deal of mental and spiritual pressure, but if significant enough, can actually end up harming the INFJ's physical well-being down the line. When the INFJ chooses to belittle themselves by being voluntarily submissive to the thoughts and actions of others, they run the risk of accumulating stored trauma. Whether it be by being too timid to set boundaries, agreeing with things that are far outside their moral code, or withholding information to keep the peace, INFJs who make it a habit of biting their tongue in times they know they should be speaking up often end up with mysterious, unexplainable physical ailments and pains. Well, psychos, that's it for today. So, let us know in the comments below how you handle conflicts and tough times as an INFJ personality type. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a video.